They didn't make it easy, and I had to re-upload another video after a copyright claim and dispute rejection, but I managed to upload episode 2 of the greatest law enforcement show that was ever created.
I make a living in the movies, but for the past 20 years, I've also been a cop.
In episode 3, Seagal shows us the special trained virgin scent dogs he uses to track down the young ladies for future roles.
They want some. And
more people who recognize Big Daddy Grasshopper, which emboldens Big Papa to hit these people up for some cash.
Man, Steven Seagal.
Can you loan me $5?
What? What? That's crazy.
It's not free being in the presence of greatness, people.
The
most important thing, of course, is that Sensei is saving lives.
We gotta get in there, make sure this person's safe. Steven Seagal can save my life.
By the way, we've played this intro before, but can we just recap how he introduces himself and says it twice? Because apparently it might be shocking to people that an 80s action star who loved himself more than anyone else ever could is now a policeman on a reality show.
My name is Steven Seagal. That's right, Steven Seagal.
You might know Steven Seagal.
You wanna play with me?
To those people who mock Big Papa in that way, I say eat a dick. We love him, and he is the greatest ethnic fluid deity to ever exist.
Of course.
Now let's get into episode 3.
When the girls start to strut, you could look at their butt, you shouldn't do that. The girl dress is just as pretty, not just there to cover her kitty.
In the opening high-speed chase, Big Daddy Banana Cock seems agitated, and it becomes obvious why.
Clear, you're clear, you're clear, you're clear.
The driver is going way too fast to be able to stop at the upcoming McDonald's, and Seagal is understandably anxious. Nope, sorry, it turns out an 18-year-old has escaped from the dungeon, and Big Papa Predator has put out all the stops to get his prey back.
Talk to Air 1, see if he can watch the house for us and guide us to the bastard if he's running, you hear me? We need direction of flight info from him up on top, Larry. 10-4. Watch this guy, you're good.
Big Daddy dribbling on and giving out instructions to actual police officers, while they're no doubt thinking to themselves,
I want you to shut the f*** up.
Meanwhile, Seagal has the ungrateful captive right where he wants her, and he begins to taunt her.
The subject could be feeling cornered and desperate.
Sensei Stalker makes sure the cops bring out all the stops to find the freshly minted prey.
Alright, what about K9? You want to start K9 in there?
Yes, brother.
All good.
Why this actual police officer is asking Sensei Powdered Sugar what he should do, I don't know. Shouldn't he have a better idea as an actual policeman and not somebody playing the role? Let me answer that for you. No. You're not Steven Seagal, bitch.
You are not Steven Seagal.
Don't really want to go through the window. We're gonna put that dog through the window and let him get in there, and if there's anybody in there, you'll hear some screaming.
What I'm hearing is that our lives are more important than the dogs' lives, and I consider this animal cruelty, Papa. I thought you were against that, Sensei.
Animal cruelty is one of my pet peeves.
Send in one of those useless sloppy idiots rolling with you. Don't risk the dogs. Sensei Sprint Champion disappointed that his patented late-age waddle wasn't enough to catch a perpetrator.
I ain't seen nothing. He must have bolted quick. I don't know how this guy could have got away, I swear to God.
Perhaps his early-age jazz hands run would have ended in the suspect being captured. We'll never know. Sensei Smuggler warning everyone out there that birthday snatchings can happen to anyone.
Locks and alarms are not always everything.
Plus,
If you mess around in Sensei's house, you could end up deceased.
In my home, I have trained attack dogs. This guy that broke into my house, my dogs might have killed him.
If I needed more evidence that Sensei is the one to worship, I also had German Shepherds growing up and I love these dogs. All hail Big Daddy Dog Whisperer. Seagal's being honest about his past food habits and buffet line attitude.
Aggressive towards everybody. Kind of wanted to eat everybody.
Seagal's on-set fluffer reveals some intimate details about working with Seagal, particularly on penetration training in the bedroom.
The session was intense, and we now know where the holes are.
Big Daddy BDSM revealing how he expects the women around him to behave,
The most important thing is to make them obey your commands.
and is extremely disappointed when the bitches get a bit toothy.
When I tell them to stop biting and come back to me, they gotta work on that.
Sensei does his Hawkeye vision where he spots a bunch of young people hanging out and doing possible illegal things.
Somebody just handed somebody something.
These officers are definitely not just harassing these kids for misdemeanors and looking for footage for their TV show. They're locking up kids for marijuana seeds and keeping the world safe.
Damn, who's smoking? I smell a weed. Who's smoking?
Smell of marijuana?
Yes, sir.
Because there's marijuana on the front seat. Weed seeds.
This bloke remembers the cameras are there and starts hamming it up. I reiterate, these are not all pathetic charges and just a reason for the cops to harass people.
Huh? No, it ain't. Put him in handcuffs.
What's your name? Your brother is Lance, who's 16 years old. You got Tori, and you the other brother.
Because you want me to tell you how much I know about your family? I didn't arrest your brothers. I went to school with your brother, Rick.
It comes as a complete shock to nobody that everyone knows Big Papa Princess, including this lady's auntie.
Could you loan me $5, partner?
I got a lot of money.
My auntie love you. But you don't. I'll watch it. I like some.
Oh, hell no!
You absolute f***ing cow. Do you know who you're talking to? Look at his face. You've destroyed him. You definitely ruined Big Daddy Dusseldorf's night with that disrespectful comment.
Auntie love you.
But you don't.
I'll watch it.
It's okay, Big Daddy. Go home and sink your teeth into a cookie and a virgin and you'll be alright, my man. But this is super important stuff. Hassling kids over some weed, so they bring in the canine unit to make the big bust.
You're looking for drugs. The dog's hitting on something. We're just trying to find it. Could be weed, could be anything.
Which turns out to be absolutely nothing.
Yeah, residue, huh? Say nothing now, huh? He didn't decide.
Who's this douchebag think he is? Does he think he's P. Diddy or something?
All right, well, thank y'all for coming out. We'll definitely invite y'all to our next party.
What I think happened is they called out the canine squad, told that guy you'd be on TV to just come out and do it. Seagal's filming, and they did purely for the excitement, knowing full well they were probably going to waste everyone's time. I have no proof of that, but I bet you I'm right.
You prick.
And guess what? The only person they arrested was released, so all of this was a complete waste of f***ing time and taxpayer resources. Just so Sensei Smashburger could make some money for another truck full of f***ing cookies and black hair paint. That, ladies and gentlemen, pretty much sums up the show. At least the show Cops was actually exciting.
We don't know if it's an intruder, we don't know if it's a medical emergency, we just know we gotta get there quick.
Once again, Seagal expressing how important he is and that he arrives on the scene. Even if he wasn't a police officer, it's important he get there really, really
Quickly!
When they finally arrive on scene, Sensei Scrumptious Sack tries to hold back his excitement when thinking about the potential victim inside.
She might be unconscious.
The lady called 911 after being threatened by a friend, and instead they sent around Steven Seagal and a bunch of other attention-seeking flogs.
This lady was allegedly threatened by a friend and called 911.
I'm one of the highest ranking Aikido teachers in the world.
Seagal realizes this lady is well and truly over 21 and storms out of the house in disgust. Once again, a really exhilarating and pointless scene where absolutely nothing happens and nobody committed a crime.
Our job is done, the lady's safe, and we're on our way out of here to find some drugs and some women.
Now normally I like the after hours segment, but this time it's basically just Seagal having his dogs trained to listen to his every command. Which isn't as fun as the usual deal where he teaches people one of the many skills that he has. But notably, he does take a moment to explain why every single one of his fight scenes looks like complete dog shit for the most part.
And I'm gonna get into the mix and pretend like I'm fighting them.
In this episode, Seagal wasn't up to his usual arrogant antics, but he did make it clear that it's crucial to be on scene at all times. I, for one, know that I feel safer anytime he's around.
Steven Seagal can save my life.
To be honest, this was a pretty boring episode compared to the previous two, so I'm hoping number 4 starts to really ramp it up.
Look at this here. Whoa!
I need more Big Papa waddling around and harping on about nothing. I hope to see you all this weekend for the live watch along. I've got a bullshito video coming up soon and another Big Daddy masterpiece on the way. Until then, my friends, if you're locked in a dungeon, don't try and escape. Don't ever disrespect Seagal by not watching his movies, but above all, stay awesome. Peace, legends.
Sun shining bright in the sky, and I'm free when I close my eyes.